Welcome back to the One Step Better Business Podcast. I am Mike, and this is Matt.
What's up, Mikey?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I am doing really well. Today, we're going to talk about something that is pretty important for the folks around our organization, and that is best places to work. We have a best places to work competition here locally in the Memphis area, and for the past 6 years, we've been named a best places to work. So today, we're going to talk about why that's important, how we got there, what all that entails, and share some stories along the way.
Yep, happy to do it.
But before we do that, we got to have a little bit more fun. So, Matt, question of the day. If you could be the absolute best at any one skill, what would it be?
I totally want to make this inappropriate. One skill.
I think I just caught what you meant when you said that. I didn't catch it earlier.
Yeah. I really totally want to make this inappropriate, but I won't. I'll be good.
Mandy's not listening.
Although she already knows. It's not, I'm already the best. No. All right. So what would I want to be the best at? Honestly, I think like problem solving. So like from the standpoint of like any problem that could ever occur, mathematics or engineering or what, I want to be the best inventor ever. Like that's kind of where I lean to if it needs to be appropriate.
So you want to be able to solve all the world's problems.
I want to solve the world's problems, man.
Yeah. That's an interesting skill.
What about you?
That sounds like a superpower.
Yeah.
You know how, all right, so you ever watch all the crime shows in the world? There's always the one guy that remembers everything he sees in perfect detail, everything he reads, like the visual. Yeah. I want that. I want to be the best at that, to be able just to remember all the things.
Like Mike from Suits.
Yeah.
So you're Mike from Pats.
Yeah. Without all the cool skills.
Yeah. If you've ever read it, you know it.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
Sadly, my sister is that.
Yeah.
She has a photographic memory.
My sister is not that.
And it hasn't helped her as much as I would wish it would.
You got to steer that in the right direction.
She remembers all the things that you've done wrong. It's kind of like Sheldon. He has like...
My wife has that ability.
Yeah. And my wife has that ability too.
And I don't think she has a photographic memory. But she
remembers all the bad stuff.
She can remember some things, that's for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Best places to work today,
Best
Mike.
places to work today. Yeah. So... like I said, 6 years.
Yep.
6 years we've been named a best place to work by the Memphis Business Journal. We've won a couple of awards with some other publications that are along that same line. But Matt, going back to when we first actually took a look at applying for that, why was it important for us to pursue that best place to work moniker?
Yeah, it really is more of a why I care about it. I want, just in my core for people to enjoy what they do, who they work with, and feel what the work they do matters. I believe that, we are around our coworkers more than our families a lot of times. And I think by having a metric that is almost like a scoreboard on how we're doing. Are we doing the right things for our employees and therefore the organization? So I liked it, like it was a litmus test of, are we still on the right track? And so I pursued it with the intent of going, I really want us to have a great place to go to work every day, enjoy what we're doing, who we're working with, what we're getting to do. And I feel like it's a barometer. If we were to not be a best places to work, it would be something I'd want to fix in a hurry.
So walk me through the process of how one gets to be named a best place to work. What does that application process look like?
Yeah.
What are they looking for? What are they doing?
Yeah, I was surprised early on what it actually entails. The first thing that usually happens is there's a survey of all your employees. You have to have a really high participation rate. I think it's like 98% or 97% have to participate of your total employee count. The process, it goes around everything from compensation, benefits, leadership development. The questionnaire is pretty in detail. And then we have a narrative. They ask me as the owner probably 10 questions that I have to complete. Like, what are you doing that's unique? What are you doing for your employees as far as compensation? What kind of rewards and bonuses and incentive programs do you have? What benefits are you offering? What is developmental track of your people? You know, what's your tenure look like? What your turnover rates look like? It's somewhat narrative. I'm assuming the judging is somewhat subjective. I know we've done over the years, we haven't done it every year, but a lot of times there's an interview involved where they'll interview us and just talk through those questions. But also part of that survey is they're ranking us on a scorecard of, okay, these guys are following, what are the of all these, this compensation or benefits or development or technology or environment, like that score is ranked. And so we've been ranking, I think it's like 1 to 10 or something like that. Yeah. So
that survey goes out to every eligible employee in the
I don't get the survey. So
So what that looks like, it's probably, 40 questions or so. And it's not a 1 to 10 thing. It's like, strongly agree to strongly disagree. And then there's things in between. And there are questions about well-being. A lot of times it's, do you feel valued? Do you feel like your work matters? Do you feel like you're poured into? Do you feel like you have the ability to raise issues? A variety of things like that. And there's some control questions in there. Like one of the questions is, rate this as disagree.
just to make sure that you're not. Agrees.
Yeah. And everybody has to do it. And I think it's interesting because it's anonymous. We don't get the results of our employee surveys except for one question, which is like, pick 3 words that describe your organization, and then they share that with us. But we don't know who does what, who says what.
And I don't get any specific answers. I get, here's how you ranked at each of those questions.
Yeah. And I think it's fun because it's another opportunity for our team to give us feedback beyond our normal channels. I think the actual award, the Best Place to Work award, is really just the formal recognition of all of the things that we're doing here. And the important part of being named a Best Place to Work is not the award. It's the inputs that drive to the award. It's the things like we care about our employees. We care about how they're comped. We care about their well-being. We care about their family life. We genuinely care about the people that are working here. And it's fun because we're all a little bit competitive. It's fun.
I want to win.
To get the formal recognition that comes with a plaque and a ceremony and a 30-second spot on stage at Overton Shell.
Yeah. We get a couple drinks and some food, and we had to act like an idiot on stage at the Shell. What I like about it for us from an intentionality standpoint is it is a barometer or a test to make sure we're doing the right things. And you totally just spilled coffee all over yourself, I think.
I did,
Mikey.
I did. Strong word.
It's the same for me with our Inc. 5000. It's the same. I want a barometer of we're doing the things that are intentional. So, we have an intentional mindset of, our team is first. It's in our values, and it is something that we want to make sure that people really do enjoy what they're doing. And I want them to voice that when they're not. I want them to take on more responsibility and get challenged and keep learning. All those things are part of who we are. And I want that to be something that we kind of show to our clients that this is what's possible with our mindset of we're constantly trying to improve things. This is aligned with that. And so as we go forward and bring a new client on, we want them to have that same mindset of that we have, which is, okay, how do I keep getting a little bit better? And so that feedback loop from Best Places to Work and from our employees and from 15.5 engagement and from our one-on-ones, all that stuff is all tied together for me. Is, how are we still progressing in the right way? Every year I read those questions and I'm like, oh, they every once in a while they go off on different tangents. Like there's some DEI stuff going on, and there's some, what benefits, everybody else has, and you start reading everybody else's, you're like, man, I didn't think that was even a thing. We still stay with some of our core beliefs, but I do believe that it is important for us to keep pushing that, making sure and measuring how we're doing and getting that feedback is critical.
Why do you think that is important for you? Why do you think that the well-being of our team and creating a destination work environment, why is that important?
Because of I believe that if our people are happy and they're doing the work that they really are passionate about, that it will show up with the services that we're providing our clients. It matches and aligns with that. We're not just doing this stuff because we get a paycheck. I don't believe that's the truth. I think everybody wants to have a purpose. And I want to attach, some of their purpose to the value that they bring here at this part as part of their overall purpose in life.
So a lot of that stuff is a little bit hard to measure.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard somebody say, I don't know if I agree with it, but I heard somebody say one time, it's not enough to do good. Sometimes you have to get caught doing the good. Best Places to Work award, and a lot of time is getting caught doing the good. So let's talk a little bit about why this is beneficial, or how this is beneficial, the selfish side of being named a Best Places to Work. What are the benefits for Patrick Accounting and Works?
Well, you have people that care, number one. Having a bunch of people that care about what they do, it's going to make a rising tide. I mean, you're going to have people that want to continue to improve things, and they want to keep learning and getting better. I think that is, from a selfish standpoint, a very healthy organization to be a part of. Outward bounds, from a recruiting standpoint, from a destination that people would want to come to work here, I find that, we're going to attract the best people that align with those values, because, that matches up with the people we're trying to find. People that want to be at a place that cares about them and they're passionate about their development just as much as their own.
I think it also allows us to stand out as different in a lot of ways.
Yeah, this is definitely an industry that is not known for
positive work environment.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, there are some other firms. Luckily, last few years, there's 3 other CPA firms in Memphis that are also have been nominated. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, I want someone to find a passionate job, a job that is something that matches with what they want. And, the other firms that are on the list are all great firms. But I do want us to be in a unique spot of going, but what we do is different.
Yeah. We use that terminology very often internally. We talk about how, what we do is different than other accounting firms. What we do is different than other payroll bureaus. What we do is different than other professional services organizations. But that doesn't mean anything to the wild.
No, it's the same as saying I have great customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have great customer service? Because Comcast says you have it.
Says that, yeah.
I say that all the time. Comcast has, Chick-fil-A says it, and I believe it. And actually, they don't even have to say it because we know it's true. But yet, then you go to Comcast and they say it too, and they're different and they're better, and those are very subjective terms. And so, I do want us to be walking the walk.
Yeah, it's interesting as we go through the hiring process with people that come in. Every once in a while, somebody will be like, "So I was looking at your stuff and I saw that you guys are a Best Place to Work. What does that mean? What does that look like?" And it really gives us an opportunity to talk through with that candidate how our environment is different than what maybe they've experienced elsewhere, which then helps kind of set the table of if you come in here, if you're able to get a job here and you're not performing well, we're going to have a conversation about that. Why? It's because we're not interested in being a good place to work. We're interested in being a best place to work.
The best.
And in order to be the best, we have to hold people accountable and push them along the way sometimes. And it really kind of sets a precedent on the very beginning.
Yeah, it's a litmus test. From the time we start hiring somebody, we're already putting them through the paces to see if they're a fit, both from a personality standpoint, but do they live our values? Are they gonna match what we, the tenets that we believe in? We are very intentional with who we hire, and that is all tied together with the scoreboard at the end of the day going, we have a really great team, and we want to constantly be putting them through that litmus test. We want to constantly be challenging them to improve. I believe that most businesses, if they focused on what makes them great, if it was from the intentionality of how they bring people on board, how they develop people, how they make sure that the work they're doing matters, that organization will be 1,000% healthier than they would be. I think a lot of our clients, and unfortunately, have a tendency to get in the habit of thinking about other priorities other than the development of their people. And that is something that we want to kind of beat on them about, is like, hey, look, this is where it all starts here. We've had a couple conversations recently with clients, and it goes around with what's your hiring process look like? And you go, well, you basically hired the first person that showed up. You didn't have them put them through any kind of consistent process. You're now disappointed with how they didn't do. You haven't had any conversations about them with them. You're talking about them behind their back. You are frustrated with them. You've never had a conversation, and yet you're going to make the same mistake over and over again until you change what you're doing. And I think all this is aligned together. From the result of best places to work doesn't start there. It starts at how do you make sure you have the right people on your team doing the right things in the right seat.
I think it's a bit cyclical in that you have to, like, if you're a small business out there and you're interested in becoming a best places to work, it does not start with applying to be a best place to work. You don't start there. Start with, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to evaluate my current employee group. Who are the super high performers? What are the character traits in that? So we're going to use that to kind of create some values. We're then going to start to align our entire team towards those values, and we're going to start to hire new people towards those values. And that's the slow turning of a Titanic in a lot of ways. When you do that over and over and over and over again, you get better people. The better people you get, the better service that you're offering. The better service you're offering, the more customers you're getting. You're going to have some growth going on. And in all of that, at some point, you're going to apply for Best Places to Work. Now you have some credentials to come along with it, which is going to hopefully elevate the type of candidate that's coming in the front door. It's a long process.
I would say the only thing that I would say is you probably want to put that through the lens first. So evaluate yourself against other best places to work now. See where your gap is, because you may find that you are on the right track and you're good, or you may find like, oh my gosh, I'm so far off. So it's the, hey, I want to know what the gaps are so I can improve this. And I think you're exactly right. It's, I think about the EOS concept of right people, right seat, defining the role, what winning looks like in the role, what your best performers are. Like you said, it ties to everything down the road, but you want to have some kind of a litmus test to see where you are to start from. You may have you're going to have strengths in that process, and you're going to have some weaknesses, and you're just going to start evaluating against it.
For a lot of people, it's a different concept. It's a different concept because, to your point earlier, it starts in the type of applicant you're looking for in the hiring process. Because I can't just say warm body off the street that says they're willing to work. They may show up. Hey, let's give them a job and see what happens. You're going to get some bad results. Great people change everything.
Yep.
Especially in organizations like ours that is heavily dependent upon people. But it doesn't matter if you're accounting firm, professional services, or HVAC. Mm-hmm. everything in between. The more people I have that are living my values, that are performing at a high level, everything is getting better.
I mean, there's a couple of people that have been there along the ride with us too. That are, you think about like the Redeemers Group and Benchmark Financial, and Paragon Bank's been there repeatedly. Pinnacle Bank's been there repeatedly. These are all organizations that are very successful in our area because they have really good people and they care about them, but also you can see it in everything they're doing that everybody's kind of rowing in the same direction. So it's fun to be a part of the group.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So if you're interested in becoming a best place to work, I would definitely encourage you to look into it. Take a look at all of your stuff that you have going on today with your employees. Take a look at some organizations that might be recognized in that. To Matt's point, find out where you're lacking and start to address those issues. It all starts in your core values, though, so make sure that you have those lined out really, really well. So thank you guys for listening to us ramble on a little bit about best places to work and get to pat ourselves on the back a little bit about the awards we've been able to win over the years. And if you have any questions for us or are curious about where to start, reach out, let us know. We'd be glad to help. Otherwise, click subscribe. Make sure you never miss another episode of the One Step Better Business Podcast. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great day.